Hey, Aldwyn Altuney here, and I am inspired tonight to share something that I've never shared before on a Facebook Live, and it really is about speaking up. Now, what I'd like to share is a part of my family history that I was only aware of recently myself. I was told that my great-grandparents were kulaks in Ukraine, and kulaks are basically rich landowners in the Ukraine. And what happened with the kulaks in the early 1900s was that Stalin in 1929 ordered the mass execution of kulaks in the Ukraine and in Russia at the time, and my great-grandparents were kulaks, and Stalin wanted to eradicate kulaks as a class and wanted to basically control the whole country. And so my great-grandparents were on their land one time, and Stalin's men came up to the property and said, "Get off your land." And they said, "Where are we going to go?" They had nowhere to go. It's minus 20 degrees outside. And so Stalin's men took my great-grandparents out the front of the house and hung them at the front of their property. And my granddad, their son, was in another part of the Ukraine at the time and heard about this and started to speak up about it. And his friends came over to him and said, "You better get out of here now, because now Stalin's men are after you. Now they're going to come and get you." And so he ran away to Turkey and met my dad's mum, who was Greek, in Iskenderun. And hence my dad was born. So that's a little bit of history there. Now, it's interesting with what I do now is I help people speak up. Speak up for what they believe in. Speak up for what you believe is true. You know, there's been some atrocious things that have happened over time with some of the rulers that we've had over time, such as Hitler, such as Stalin. Some really atrocious rulers that we've had have totally desecrated so many people and ruined lives. And with the kulaks, I was actually just reading up about it, and did you know that between 530,000 to 5 million kulaks were killed in the early 1900s by Stalin's men? And I just find that absolutely unbelievable, and hence why there's so much fear in so many parts of the world. People are scared to speak up. And then you think about people like JFK and Martin Luther King and John Lennon, who we know had their lives taken. They were assassinated because they were influencing masses of people. And of course the powers that be don't want people to be speaking up against anything that they might be saying, right? And so, so they give people a hard time on character grounds, right? On class grounds, on whatever they believe is right. And really all I believe is right is that people have the right to live in peace and dignity, and to be entitled to speak up about whatever the hell they want to speak up about. I think everyone is entitled to have their own opinion on whatever it is. And I don't believe that killing people is a solution to anything. And really, all that violence breeds is more violence, right? That's all that violence breeds. So I think it's time that as a people, as a world, that we come together and we speak up from a loving space. We speak up for what we believe is right, for our truth. And not enough people do that, I believe. And so that's what I do with my media business. I encourage people to speak up. What is it that you're passionate about? For me, I'm passionate about getting more good news out in the mass media. I think for too long we've been controlled by the powers that be to live in fear. And I really, truly believe that it's time that we started to come from a loving space and started to speak up, have the courage to speak up about whatever it is we're passionate about. Now, good news, I think, is really, really crucial for the mental health of the world. We have about 1 million people worldwide that take their own lives. I've personally had depression in the past. I've had 4 friends who have taken their own lives between the age of 31 and 45. And I think if we have more good news stories out there, we'll have a lot less people depressed and a lot less people killing themselves in the world. So I think good news is part of the solution. And I think every single day we can be doing something in that area. We can be putting more good news stories out in the mass media through our social media and also through publicity with traditional media on TV, radio, in print. We can all be doing more in this area. So I encourage you to get some more good news out and to start sharing your stories. Speak with courage. Speak with honesty. Speak with compassion. Speak your truth, because life is so damn short. And I'm getting a bit emotional tonight. Life is so short, and whether you live for 100 years or 150 or 200 years or 250 as apparently some people have in parts of the world, it's a very short time compared to eternity. So you want to be making the most of every moment, and you want to be living your truth, because if you're not living your truth, you could well be living a lie. Now, you may not think you're living a lie, but if you're not living your truth, then perhaps there's a part of you that is living a lie if you're not living your truth. So, I encourage you to live your truth, speak your truth, speak up for what you believe in. Another thing I'm really passionate about is the humane treatment of animals. And some of you will know I started the world's first Animal Action Day in 2007. And I've done 12 annual events now on the Gold Coast, raising awareness, appreciation and respect for animals, because for years I saw animal cruelty happening and it annoyed the hell out of me. It made me angry, and I thought, what can I do to help animals? Well, what I can do is encourage everyone to just take some action. Just take some action for animals, whether it's signing a petition against whaling, or whether it's, if you're going to buy eggs, buy free-range eggs, you know, or go vegan or vegetarian. Do something to help animals. Maybe have your pet washed. Connect with an animal. Connect with nature. We live in such a beautiful world, particularly in Australia. We are so blessed. I'm currently in Melbourne. I'm from the Gold Coast. Well, not originally, Sydney originally. Gold Coast now 20 years, and I just love Australia. I'm so grateful to live in Australia. And it is a beautiful country. We've got so much to be grateful for, and really the whole world is beautiful. Just a lot of people, unfortunately, over time have done a lot to destroy this beautiful world we live in. And so that's why I believe it's time now for the people to come together, to start speaking up for what we believe in. Speak up in the mass media. Speak up about what you believe is right. And do it with compassion and do it with love, which can be challenging sometimes. But it's time, regardless, to speak up, because every time you speak up, you're inspiring somebody else to speak up as well. And every time you connect with nature, do something you love and you're passionate about, you are helping to lift the vibration on the planet and lift those around you, because you're doing something you love, something that puts a smile on your dial. And by putting a smile on your dial, you will be lighting up those around you. So I thought I'd just share a little bit today. A lot of people don't know about my history, and it's interesting that with my media business, I'm all about helping people speak up, and yet I had family that was persecuted and in fact killed for speaking up, as I'm sure many people have out there, and are really too afraid, particularly in parts of the world where there was that kind of dictatorship, the Stalin dictatorship that happened. A lot of people are scared to speak up because they're scared of losing their lives. Well, you know, it is so damn short anyway, right? So you may as well speak up. Just make the most of every single moment, because you never know when it is all going to be over in this plane, in this existence. Some people say we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Well, perhaps we are. I think we're all here for a reason. And I think if you are passionate about something, if you feel strongly about something and you want to make a difference, then I encourage you, I inspire you to go out and do that. align with a charity or a cause that you're passionate about and do something in that area, whether it's volunteering some time or donating some money or resources, whatever it is. We can all do our bit to help create a better world around us. I just want to say hello to everyone on the live. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello Gopal, Peter Blake, Peter O'Donnell. Hello Bradley, Terry. Hello Rowan, Gavin. Hello Vicky, Philip, Pamela, Peter, Linda. Thank you, Gavin. Love your words. You have to stand for something, otherwise you will fall for anything. Yes, we are beautiful creatures of the Lord. Absolutely, Gavin. Totally agree with you. Absolutely, you have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And we know over time that we have been fed a whole lot of lies by the mass media. We know it. I mean, just look into 9/11, okay? Look into 9/11. Now, I couldn't believe when someone said to me, 9/11 was an inside job. I said, you got to be kidding. What do you mean 9/11 is an inside job? So I started to do my research and I started to discover all this material that was never shown in the mass media. All to start the war on terror and for several other reasons. Look into it for yourself. You will be horrified. The number of times we saw those planes go into the Twin Towers when 9/11 happened. And now we're noticing all sorts of things. The 5G now. How's 5G affecting the world? How's vaccinations affecting the world? These are all things that are being bombarded right now through the mass media. And, really, as a human being, I encourage you to do your research before you allow anyone to inject anything into your body or before you take any pills that doctors prescribe. Do your own research and look after yourself and be informed before you just hop on the mass media bandwagon of whatever it is that the powers that be want to push. Now, it is exciting times because we have social media, and traditional journalists are now looking to social media every single day for story ideas. So you can influence the mass media very easily now with your mass media, with your social media and what you're putting out there. My background is I've been a photojournalist for many years. I've worked in traditional media and TV, radio and print media for over 30 years, and it's been an amazing ride. And in that time, there's been so many changes in the media. And one thing that's happening now is I believe that the power is coming back to the people. Now we have more freedom of speech than ever before. We're able to connect with people from right across the world much easier than we ever have before. And we can speak publicly on Facebook Live like this, connect with people all over the world, or speak at workshops. I run workshops, I run Meetup events. I've got my 13th Animal Action Night coming up on October 5. We're raising money for big cats and to help end trophy hunting of endangered animals such as cougars and bears and lions. It's for the Land of the Free project on October 5. I've got my mass media tribe meetup. I've got the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club that I started with Tracy Corman that I do. I have my How to Gain $1 Million worth of free publicity workshop that I run right across Australia, and I absolutely love it. I love what I do, and I love helping people share their message and share what they're passionate about with the mass media. If you are in Queensland, then I will be speaking on August 6th in Brisbane. I'll be doing a workshop and a meetup August 6th and also August 15 on the Gold Coast, and then I'll be in Melbourne as well in mid-August. So check out Mass Media Tribe if you'd like to join me and attend an upcoming event. I'd love to see you. I'd love to hear your story. What is it that you're passionate about, and what do you want to speak up about out there? What is it that you want to speak up about? I'd love to see your comments. Even pop some comments in this chat on Facebook. I would love to hear from you. What are you passionate about, and what are you ready now to speak up about? What is it time for you to speak up about? Well, I've spoken about my family. I'm so grateful for my family. I've got family now in the Ukraine, in Turkey, in Greece, in America. A family all over the world. I'm so grateful for, in Australia, in Sydney, all over the place. I'm so grateful for my amazing multicultural family, and I'm glad that my dad survived and my granddad survived through the Ukraine and through Turkey, and of course we know that Turkey's also had its struggles over there as well. If you see the movie The Promise, you will see what I mean there. There were 2.5 million Christians that were also eradicated out of Turkey, which is very interesting. Greeks, Armenians and Assyrians were eradicated out of Turkey in the early 1900s too. So some very hard times, you know, during World War I, World War II, some very hard times that people endured, and unfortunately many people didn't survive that time. However, there's also those that did, and either way, you know, it's all brought us to where we are today, and I think now more than ever we can be grateful for what our forefathers went through and what some of our heritage and our lineage, what some of those before us have gone through, so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have today. And I certainly believe we have freedom of speech now, whether you believe it or not. Now, I know that some people will try to limit freedom of speech out there. However, I think the more we stand together as a people, as a community, and the more we do what we love, the more we will inspire others to also do what they love. And more people love what they do, then we'll have a happier, more peaceful world out there where people are kinder to themselves and kinder to others. Because they say, hurt people hurt people. So if somebody has hurt you lately, or you felt hurt by someone, because some people will say no one can actually hurt you, it's only if you allow yourself to be hurt, right? Just remember that hurt people hurt people. So if someone is being nasty to you, they may well be hurting. So just send them love. You don't need to hang out with those people, but you can just send them love from a distance, and you know, everyone's got their own journey. You don't have to take that on board. Stay true to you. Stay true to what you believe in. Speak your truth. Join the Mass Media Tribe. Come and join me on Facebook, the Facebook group Mass Media Tribe. I've also got another group called Loving Life as well. That's facebook.com/Loving Lives. And I created Good News Day as well on the 8th of the 8th last year. So I've got Good News Day also coming up on the 8th of August as well. Lots coming. Gosh, so much going on. 8th of August. So if you want to join me there as well and post some good news on Good News Day and any other day that you'd like to lift people's spirits around you and create a more peaceful, harmonious and happy world, then go to facebook.com/The Good News Day and join the community there. Love to hear from you. What are you passionate about? What is it time now for you to speak up about? What is it that pulls on your heartstrings, that has called you for a while, that you maybe haven't done anything about, and now, maybe now, it's time. It's time to speak up, whether it's on a Facebook Live or whether it's in your social media or in the mass media somehow. Perhaps, hopefully, this Facebook Live will inspire and encourage you to do that, because I believe in you. I believe in the power of one, and I believe in you. May your flame burn bright and light up all those around you. Shine bright, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Hello, Henry. Great to see you. Thank you for those great chords. They're amazing. Love your chords. Thank you, Henry. From America, Stephen, Mark. Hello, Bree. Hello, Richard. Hello, Amber. Thank you so much for joining me. Great to see you guys. And please pop in the chat here. What are you passionate about, and what is it that you want to speak up about right now? Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon in the world of social media, online, offline, in the mass media. Here's to you speaking your truth and standing true for yourself and for all of those before us that have sacrificed so that we may live and so that we may have this freedom to speak up. I encourage you to speak up. It's time, folks. It's time for you to speak up, share your truth, and live your life passionately and enjoy every precious moment. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again hopefully soon. Bye for now. Bye from Melbourne. See you.